Welcome back to LFC Transfer Hub, your ultimate home for all things Liverpool. Today we've got huge transfer drama and breaking news. Liverpool, keeping close eye on world-class winger as move on Salah, admission made. Arne Slot's Alexander Isak comment speaks volumes after Mo Salah's issue with Hugo Ekitike. Alexander Isak knows exactly what Mo Salah and Hugo Ekitike think of him at Liverpool. Let's dive in, Reds. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Liverpool, keeping close eye on world-class winger as move on Salah, admission made. Michael Olise to Liverpool is becoming a regular transfer rumour as the Premier League champions plan for a future without Mohamed Salah. The Bayern Munich and France star moved to the Bundesliga from Crystal Palace for an initial £45 million in the 2024 summer transfer window. Olise quickly adapted to life in Germany, performing as one of Vincent Kompany's best players last season. In total, the French international registered an astonishing 20 goals and 23 assists in 55 matches across all competitions, and he has started 2025-26 strongly, netting 3 times in his side's opening 2 Bundesliga encounters. The 23-year-old is now widely regarded as one of the best right-sided forwards in the world, and Premier League clubs have been left to rue missing out on him last summer. Arsenal, Newcastle United and Chelsea were among the clubs interested in signing the attacker before he joined Bayern for what quickly looked like a bargain. Olise could return to the Premier League in the future, with Liverpool eyeing him up as a long-term replacement for Salah. The Egyptian was named PFA Players Player of the Year, FWA Footballer of the Year, Premier League Player of the Season and Liverpool Players Player of the Season as he scored 29 goals and made 18 assists last season to claim the Premier League Golden Boot and Playmaker of the Season awards. There was speculation surrounding Salah's future for much of last season as he entered the final 6 months of his contract, but Liverpool tied him down until 2027 in April. Still, Salah is 33 and while he's in top physical shape, he's not going to sustain the levels of last season for another 5 years. This is where Olise comes into the equation. The Daily Mail reported last week that the Bayern star could be right at the top of their shopping list, as Arne Slot wants a long-term Salah replacement in the next summer or two. Now, former Premier League scout Mick Brown, who remains very well connected within the game, has told Football Insider that Liverpool view Olise as a potential Salah heir. Liverpool are keeping a close eye on Olise, said Brown. He is one player who could match up to what Salah offers, or as close as anybody could given how incredible Salah has been during his time at Liverpool. They'll have scouts watching him, they'll want to know chapter and verse about him because he is a standout candidate to fill that role. He's already done it in the Premier League with Crystal Palace, so that's another box ticked, and now he's doing it for Bayern Munich and for France. He's proving he can do it at the highest level. Salah's future will be a tricky one to navigate because obviously they're not going to replace him right now because he's still in the team. But at the same time, they have to be aware that at 33, time isn't exactly on his side and at some point they're going to have to move on. There will be players they've already looked at as potentially coming in for him, but that entire landscape could change in a year or two. Arne Slot's Alexander Isak comment speaks volumes after Mo Salah's issue with Hugo Ekitike. Liverpool manager Arne Slot has been speaking about Alexander Isak, mirroring the thoughts Mohamed Salah has already shared about another new signing from the recent transfer window. Arne Slot admits he still needs to familiarise himself with Alexander Isak after admitting he has barely spoken to Liverpool's new record signing. Slot's admission echoes Mohamed Salah's earlier comments about needing to build an on-pitch relationship with another new signing in Hugo Ekitike, which indicates that the Reds are undergoing a period of transition. Liverpool splurged around £450 million, $600 million, on new players during the summer window, including a British transfer record sum of £120 million, $162 million, for Isak alone on deadline day. It concluded a lengthy transfer saga surrounding the Swedish forward, who faced widespread criticism for how he forced his departure from Newcastle. But despite eventually securing his highly anticipated move, Isak has barely had time to get to know his Liverpool teammates and hasn't yet played for the team, owing to the recent international break. That led to an honest response from Slot when quizzed about Isak's character during Friday's press conference before this weekend's trip to Burnley, as the Reds aim to secure 4 victories from 4 in the Premier League. The Dutchman said, "Maybe you won't believe me, but I haven't spoken to him that much. I phoned him after he signed and he had to go to Sweden for international duty, but 99% of the time during breaks, I leave the players to their national team managers. I texted him once or twice, but I do have to get to know him in the upcoming days and weeks. But we have such a great culture here at this club, so we sign players for their qualities, and I know how good he is, what a quality player he is. I don't think you can compare any situation with another, different owners, different situations, you cannot compare Isak and Mark Guéhi. I felt all the way we needed another attacking player, so I'm happy we could get the one we wanted." Of course, Isak was not Slot's first forward signing of the summer, having bought Ekitike from Eintracht Frankfurt for £79 million, $107 million, just weeks prior. The France international made an instant impact at Anfield, netting 3 times in his opening 3 competitive games for the Reds. But talisman Salah mirrored Slot's sentiments by acknowledging that he needs more time to get to know Ekitike and understand his game for things to go smoothly on the pitch. That suggests the new arrivals haven't quite clicked yet and things may temporarily get worse for the reigning Premier League champions before they improve. Salah said, "So far I haven't figured the connections out yet. Like with Darwin Núñez or Luis Diaz, the guys that used to play in front, or Diogo Jota. I knew where to start with Diogo or Darwin. I know where to find them. I knew their game very well, but with Hugo, he's still new. Sometimes I need the ball in the field. Sometimes we need it in space. We will try to figure that out through training sessions and videos. The manager shows us. So I will figure it out soon because it's going to help my game to grow as well." Despite Salah's candid comments and concerns, Liverpool grinded out a perfect league record heading into the international break, becoming the only side to win all 3 games. During their disappointing opener against Bournemouth, they needed 2 late strikes to clinch a victory at home. They then needed a 100th-minute winner to claim all 3 points against 10-man Newcastle, having been 2 goals ahead, before Dominic Szoboszlai's spectacular free kick late on against Arsenal separated the 2 title contenders. Alexander Isak knows exactly what Mo Salah and Hugo Ekitike think of him at Liverpool. Alexander Isak completed a $169 million transfer to Liverpool after a whirlwind transfer saga, but the big money forward will be well aware of what the rest of the Liverpool squad thinks of him. Following one of the most dramatic transfer sagas in Premier League history, Alexander Isak secured his move to Liverpool on deadline day. A British record sum of $169 million was required to prize the Swedish striker from Newcastle, and the forward will be aware of how his arrival has been received by various Liverpool squad members, including Mo Salah and Hugo Ekitike. All attention will be on Isak this weekend as his debut could potentially arrive this Sunday against Burnley. Whilst Arne Slot has cautioned supporters against anticipating Isak to feature in every single game, 90 minutes on the pitch, in the immediate future, it's believed he might play a minor role, having featured for 18 minutes with Sweden during the week. Isak is joining a Liverpool attack currently in transition. Liverpool splashed the cash this summer with Florian Wirtz and Ekitike arriving after Luis Diaz and Darwin Núñez departed. The passing of Diogo Jota, who tragically died in a car crash in July, also created a gap in Slot's squad. Liverpool has begun the new season positively, securing 3 consecutive victories in the Premier League, but rivalry is anticipated to be fierce within the Reds' attacking line. What does Hugo Ekitike think about Alexander Isak? Asked about Isak's arrival, the former Frankfurt star, 23, was welcoming of the challenge. "It's fun," he said. Ekitike added, "When you play for the best teams, you expect to be competing with the best players. Isak is a player I've watched too, so seeing him arrive is a pleasure. It's going to be tough competition, but I'm going to focus on performing well so that it's a problem for the manager. What does Mo Salah think about Alexander Isak? Although Salah has not yet publicly commented on Isak's arrival, the Egyptian forward was asked for his opinion on his Fantasy Premier League price with just a week to go until the start of the 2025-26 season. In response, he revealed his admiration for Isak. Salah said, "First of all, I want you guys to put my price down so everybody can have me in the team. I said that before, I'm telling you in a video. Put my price down and that's it. Now I am the highest. No. Put the strikers the highest. Haaland should be the highest. Isak should be the highest. So not a winger has to be the highest." What does Arne think about Alexander Isak? Ahead of the tie against Burnley, Slot shared his thoughts on Isak, admitting that he was still familiarizing himself with his new striker. "Maybe people don't believe me if I give you this answer, but I haven't spoken to him that much," Slot said in a press conference on Friday. "So, I spoke to him after he signed by phone because he had to go to the national team. Although we find it very important how someone is because we have such a great culture here at this club, we mainly sign a player also for his qualities and therefore I don't need to call them. We faced him a few times, I faced him a few times, and I know what a quality player he is." Whilst the reigning champions seem to be heading in the right direction, there remain issues to address. One such matter is Liverpool's completely revamped attacking line learning to gel together, a concern that is presently troubling Salah. "So far I didn't figure the connections out yet," said Salah of the club's new strike force. "Like with Darwin or Lucho, Diaz, or the guys they used to play in front, or Diogo. I knew where to start with Diogo or Darwin. I know where to find them. I knew their game very well, but with Hugo he's still new." Liverpool's refreshed frontline will now be hoping to find its rhythm as the Reds target 4 victories from 4 when they travel to Turf Moor on Sunday.